So, greetings to you for our July Patreon film, a little behind the scenes glimpse at what's been going on with us. It's been a comparatively quiet month, well, after Much Ado. We have only a very few video clips of Much Ado, which I sneaked during my book holding duties, which I'm going to include in this film. Much to our sadness, we don't have a full film to share with you. That's just the way it worked out. We tried everything we could to have a cinematographer present, but we just couldn't get anybody in the end. So we don't have a full film, for which I'm really sorry. But like I said, I'm going to include the clips that I did take from Much Ado in this film, which will come after my introduction. We also have some nice films and comments from those who took part in Cymbeline, which was our online play this year. And we also have news of productions in preparation. I'm currently helping the company prepare 2 Romeo and Juliets, which is unusual for us. And I will say a little bit more about that at the end. So here we go into those few little clips of Much Ado. Enjoy. It was an amazing day.
Is that all right? Sorry.
Yeah, that's good. No, that's very good. You do very well.
I can change my pace though because I'm aware I.
Permit me to present our company of players, brave and bold. I'm reading this and I've lost my place. Each player here, their part has study ed. Their lines and cues are fast and sound in head. With whom they play their scenes, they learned about 2, maybe 3 short hours ago. No group rehearsal. No, none. They hear their partner's lines first time when you, our fair ascendant seated, hear them too. If any has a failure of recall, your book holder is here to catch the ball. You won't be watching me, but all the time, I'll be sitting right here, waiting for my cue. Line!
The best from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have the full bent. Love me? Why, it must be requited. I hear how I am censured. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that hear their detractions and can put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis a truth. I can bear them witness. And virtuous, 'tis so. I cannot reprove it. And wise, but for loving me. By my troth, it is no addition to her wit, nor no great argument of her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me, because I have so long railed against marriage. Not the appetite alter. A man loves to meet in his youth, and he cannot endure in his age. Short quips and sentences and these paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humour? No! Oh, the world must be peopled. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I should live till I were married. Here comes Beatrice. By this day, she's a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love in her.
That's Farwell. I am sent to bid you come in to dinner.
Fair Beatrice, I thank you for your pains.
I took no more pains for the exams than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure then in the message?
Oh, yes. Just so much as you may take upon a knife point. I have no stomach, senor. Fare you well.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner. Well, there's a double meaning in that. If I do not take pity of her, I am a villain. If I do not love her, I am a fool. I will go get her picture.
Only man of Italy. Always accepted, my dear Claudio.
Oh, when are you married, madam?
Why, every day tomorrow. Come, let us go in. I will show thee some attires and have thy counsel which is best to furnish me tomorrow.
She's staying, I warrant you. We've got her, madam.
Oh, if it proves so, then loving goes by perhaps. Some Cupids killed with arrows, some with traps.
What fire is in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Content farewell. Maiden pride adieu, no glory left behind the back of such. Benedict, love on. I will requite you. Taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. If he doth love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and only I believe it. Better than reportingly, that only tells a lie and swears it. Oh, I cannot be a man with wishing. Therefore I will die a woman with grieving.
Tarry, good Beatrice. By this hand, I love thee.
Use it for my love some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul the Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Okay?
So a few happy memories of our return to live action theatre in Tunbridge Wells there. All taken by audience members or by me. None of it planned. It was fabulous to be back in a real audience, live environment. I mean, it's live when we do online because there are responses from the company and we do see the messages that come up on on the YouTube feed. But to be actually in a space, walking around on a stage together, I forgot how much I love it. If nothing else, it was very wonderful and very exciting and fabulous to have those people in that space again. However, we'll be back again with more in live theatre. But before we talk about that, we have to talk about Cymbeline, which was this month's full play on online, and a very intriguing play in so many ways. So much trickery, so much disguise, gods and apparitions, hiding in trunks, wearing each other's clothes, cutting off heads, chucking them into rivers. I mean, it's a very strange play in very many ways, highly entertaining, of course. Also intrigued that a lot of the actors were commenting on the fact that this is a bit like Romeo and Juliet. This is a bit like Friar Lawrence. This is a bit like this. This is a bit like that. There was a lot of that going on. So it's one of those, which came first, So that was intriguing as well. But all the plays are their own thing, and they all teach us something new. And yeah, so here's what some of the cast thought of that.
Hello, this is Aliki. I'm walking to the place where I'm staying, and we'll be starting Cymbeline soon, in which I'm playing King Cymbeline. It's been very strange doing this, preparing for this on holiday on a Greek island which is where I currently am, I like to listen to my lines a bit before I perform, and I record them, and there's always the sound of cicadas in the background when I'm listening. I'm thinking a lot about the scene in the play where Cymbeline finds out that his wife has been plotting against him, and how easy he finds it to absolve himself of stupidity, and generally how easily he finds himself at the end of a play where he's come out very lucky out of making some really, really idiotic mistakes and being very cruel, to think of himself as a good person. And well, I guess aren't we all like that a little bit, or more than a little bit? So that's the kind of thing I'm thinking about. I've borrowed a rather sumptuous summer outfit from my aunt, which I think will look pretty royal. And well, I'm really looking forward to it. See how it goes. Bye.
So I've just stepped off the virtual stage for a couple of minutes. I think there's a bit of business being rehearsed, which I'm not called for. So I think I've got a minute or two, I hope. So this is my pre-performance video. It's about dentist time. It's 2:30, and we go on in about 30 minutes. So one of the things that I'm going to be most aware of, I think, in this production, as far as Iachimo is concerned, is how much the man has to say. Like Iago, he talks a lot. And one of the bad habits that actors can fall into, and I fall into it too, is you're trying to rush through it. In a sense, you're not trying to... you're not enjoying it, you're trying to survive it. And you can see actors do that. They want to sort of, get through it really, really quickly and then get it all over. And we survived. And then they can get to the bar and start talking about something else. So I'm going to try as much as I can enjoying all of Iachimo's nasty, relishy moments. I apologise in advance if this makes the performance about 15 minutes longer than otherwise it should be. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the whole thing.
Hiya. So, we have just finished our run of Cymbeline, and I'm just taking a moment to sit out in the garden because I wanted to, and it's a lovely cool evening, and we managed to finish in time for me to do this, although to be fair, given the time of year, that's not really saying very much. Loved it. It was a really interesting production. I got to play some interesting characters, some very different characters. I've got to say though, the character of the soothsayer, Phil Harmonious. Yeah, Phil Harmonious. Anyway, I was wondering how to sort of put him together as a soothsayer. I took inspiration partly from Glenn Dower, who had played sometime before. I can't remember when we did it now, but it was earlier in the lockdown, and partly from the band Heilung, who have these very distinctive fringes that hang down over their face. I sort of took that a bit further, so we had there's a dream catcher in our bedroom, and I had that over my face. It was very colourful, lots of sort of bright colours, which I enjoyed doing. And I got to play the sarcastic gentleman, Bruton. That was fun. And I had one word as Senator Augustus, which, yes, also enjoyed playing that. I mean, the play is bonkers. I mean, it's a mix of so many different, different things. Anyway, that's my take on it. If you saw it, I hope you enjoyed it. Please let us know your thoughts.
So there we are, all done for this afternoon. We've literally just a few moments come off air. I think that I did well in the sense of keeping everything nice and measured and not rushing through it and trying and enjoying it. Particularly the trunk scene. I had an enormous amount of fun with that. Note to myself, I should start working with my props sooner. I didn't acquire that trunk until until quite late, and so I was sort of worrying about handling it and moving it and make sure that everything could be seen or not seen properly. So next time, try and acquire a box, a nice flat box that serves as a trunk a little sooner, and I won't be quite so worried. But that's a very easy problem to solve, and hopefully next time I won't need to worry about getting in and out of a trunk.
So just a few quick fun behind the scene things. Firstly, on Cymbeline, here is Dr. Cornelius's medical kit, full of all the essentials. We've got some Cadbury's chocolate powder, very essential for modern medicine. We've got some lovely nasal spray. We've got some nice cooking oil, which, you know, we're doing with Romans, so who doesn't need olive oil? We've also got our lovely bag of chocolate coins, doubling as a bag of herbs. I think we even have... This was the vial we all used for the dram that knocked out Imogen. So it's a nice sealed COVID test in my case, so we can make sure it gets used in the future, just in case. I know every doctor needs a quick drink every now and again. The other thing, our good friend Cloten is here on the ground, slain. Poor guy, may rest in peace. As you can see, when you die, you get a bit broader and wider and pillow-like in shape. Yeah, he wasn't very well buried, but, you know, we do what we can. The other fun Cloten fact we had in the show is this lovely wig. Now, I also do event work on top of acting, and this wig is actually an Oompa Loompa wig that I do for super rich people's birthday parties and nights out and things like that. And it was fantastic to finally get to use it in a play. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and farewell to Cloten, and see you all next time.
So this is the morning after our production of Cymbeline. As you can see, I have this clever domestic solution to putting my computer at the right height. These are my props. That's Cloten's dead body. Various bits of costume. I had very, very quick costume changes in this one. Knife that I had to match with Imogen's knife. And the bits of script I discarded as I went along. These are some clothes that I don't think I ever actually got to hand over those. Pisanio has to give them to Imogen. Here's my money that I got from Cloten. And, oh, the flowers and the spoons. I hope that hasn't spoilt the magic for anybody.
Well, it's the morning after we did Cymbeline with Shake Scenery, and all I can think about is that line in the final scene that I really dislike how I did last night. You know, when that blabbermouth Jaques gives the longest and most digressive confession speech in any play I know of, and Cymbeline has told him several times to get to the point, and finally he says, "Oh, shall I keep talking? Shall I tell you more?" And Cymbeline says, "All that pertains to this," meaning, for heaven's sake, get on with it and leave out the irrelevancies. All that pertains to this. I should have hit pertains. And for some reason, in the moment, it came to me to make it a sort of question, like, all that pertains to this? And that was completely the wrong line reading, and I'm very cross with myself. There you go. Wish we could do it again so I could fix it.
So those were the cast's comments on Cymbeline. As I said at the beginning of this film, we are currently preparing our next two plays, both of which are Romeo and Juliet. So we have a brand new, absolutely full, every single word, including lots of scenes that I've never seen performed. Well, lots of, there's a few. Mostly comedy bits with servants. which Romeo and Juliet, which will be online on August 21st. Currently working on casting that, encouraging people to sign up. A lot of people on holiday, so it's going to be an interesting one, but we'll get there. We always do. So that's the full version, which is a new script. And then on the 4th of September at the Hilldrop Community Centre in North London, we're going to be doing a much edited, around about an hour and a half's worth of Romeo and Juliet, which is a version of a script we've used before. It's actually based on the script that we used. It was our very first, not quite full play back in, I think, April 2020. And that we are going to be staging as a fundraiser for Hilldrop Community Centre, which is local to Geraldine, who's of course one of our very stalwart players. We're doing it for them because, well, one, they asked us, but two, they did a lot of community work during lockdowns, did a lot of food bank and so forth, facilities for local people. And we're not making money at the same time, so they're trying to make up some deficits. So we're doing a fundraiser for them. So that'll be fun. Alexandra will be choreographing some nice knife fights. We're going to be using their lovely garden out the back. The fabulous Mark Cassidy is going to be coming up from Exeter to join us in person for the first time, which is quite exciting. So yeah, a lot of that going on. So at the moment, for me, it's all about Romeo and Juliet, and I have to remember which one I'm thinking about. And that's the major plan. We are also looking ahead. Well, I've been looking ahead to the book scripts for the next season, if you like, because Romeo and Juliet is the beginning of our big tragedies we haven't done season. So it's Romeo and Juliet, followed by Othello, followed by Hamlet, in that order. I've just started work on All's Well That Ends Well, which will be our November play, and then we'll end the year and end the official canon with The Tempest in December. So a lot of things going on, a lot of things to think about. So we hope that you have all had a good July with us and go on to have an excellent August. I will see you at the end of August to talk about what happens next month. Take care.